Hi, everybody. I'm Yair. I'm the CEO and co-founder of CyGov. Just a little background about where I come from. So I was a senior executive at Visa. At Visa, I was helping them launch their innovation hub out in Tel Aviv. And I was sitting at my desk there saying, I got to get out of the corporate world. Got to move over to, as an entrepreneur at birth, I got to get out of here. And I was thinking, what am I going to work on? So I was thinking, how do I take drones, blockchain, AI, machine learning, and create a solution that can pretty much save the world? And couldn't figure it out. So moved on to the next idea, which was something along the lines of, I saw 300 companies in the span of 1 year at Visa in cybersecurity. And it was very noticeable that many of the solutions were in the, what I call finding the bad guys in the building or figuring out how they got in. But when you looked at the preventative space, specifically the risk management space, this picture kind of describes the story there. Very manual spreadsheets, people trying to solve a very big problem, which is risk management. How do you create a clear picture of risk posture and compliance in cyber when almost every day that threat is changing? CyGov created a platform that is a SaaS-based platform that helps, first of all, collect information, analyze it, and then create the remediation tasks automatically. All that with a very visual dashboard that doesn't just take a snapshot of what's going on in your organization, it actually looks outside the organization and integrates things like threat intelligence, vulnerabilities, and new regulations. My journey as I got out there, one of the things I saw when I was at Visa was that many of the companies that I was coming across were building products, but not really speaking to the customers who need to buy it at the end. So I made it my life's mission to go out and speak to as many CISOs as possible. And it's a pretty challenging thing when you don't know so many CISOs at the beginning. But I managed to meet over 100 CISOs in the US over the last year and a half. And then what became apparent to me is two things. First of all, the importance of both compliance and risk posture under one dashboard. And the second part was the involvement of the professional services space. So the big four accounting firms, consulting firms, whatever it may be, in this risk assessment process. And I found that there were basically 4 different buckets of information and pain points in this life cycle of risk management. The first one was data collection. And data collection is 3 different sources of data, which I'll talk about shortly, but that part is a very manual, time-consuming, and expensive process that's mainly done by people today. Emails, phone calls, literally people making phone calls to people trying to figure out where the information is and try to collect it. The second part is analysis. Companies are using often analysts or third parties to do this analysis, but that analysis is very subjective, very manual. It's missing the real-time gaps of threat intelligence and outside information, while it's also very hard to quantify that without using proper risk frameworks, which are usually too complex for organizations just to adopt, things like the NIST 853 for those who are familiar. The third piece here, visualization remediation, is actually the piece that's probably what's most missing in the market. So how do you take all that information, whether it's manual or automatic, which we help automate, but then what do you do with it, right? So on the one hand, we have the GRC platforms over here, very heavy, slow, and expensive solutions that only really help collect the information. On the other end of the market, we have the automated tools, the security scorecards, the bit sites of the world. But those tools give you this magic button that you click and get a risk score. But everybody knows that's only a small piece. While it might be an important piece, it's only a small piece of your risk posture. In the middle, there's that remediation piece that's missing. What do I do with all this information? And how do I turn it into an actionable output? And how do I visualize that so I can communicate that internally, not just to my staff, but also upwards to the board, to the C-suite, to upper management. And the last piece is the ongoing management. We found a lot of different challenges in each one of these buckets, and the ongoing management part, as we learned how the process runs, simply every year, new risk assessment from scratch. No way to build knowledge over time, no way to improve and to benchmark. Our mission and vision, better security governance through awareness, insight, and timely action, and we do that by empowering organizations to understand their risks and how best to manage them. Gartner talks about the 3 trends in cybersecurity that are leading today: visibility, compliance, and cloud solution, which all 3 of those fit right in to the core of what we've built. We've built a digital platform here, a dashboard that helps you and your organization quantify that risk and manage it on an ongoing basis in a much more effective way. The 3 sources of data that feed it are automated collection off your network, questionnaires and surveys, and those external feeds of threat intelligence and vulnerabilities. skip to the end here. The team is out of the Israeli military. Besides myself, the co-founder, Eli Ben Meir, was a former general, head of military intelligence in Israel. Gal Shmueli led one of the 2 largest cyber units in the Israeli military, 81. Yehuda Raz, 8200, 16-year veteran. And Goldie Spector, who leads our business operations. And we have some great advisors from Blackstone, PwC, and Raytheon. To summarize, our value proposition is automation and visualization of that risk, prioritize remediation, and personalized insight scoring. And we do that in order to make sure we save you time, money, and most importantly, that we keep your organization off of tomorrow's headlines. We're here today. We're looking for partners, customers. Please feel free to see me. And my email is over here, so feel free to email me. Thank you very much.